strong in faith.
Faith can move mountains.
Radio Maria
91.3 FM.
The voice of truth.
Don't fall my hand, oh. You know, whenever I'm saying don't fall my hand, don't fall my hand, how do we say it properly? Don't fall my hand means don't disappoint me. You're welcome, darling listener. The program is Learn With Us, your darling program. And what do we do at Learn With Us? Learning With Us is an educational program. This is where we discuss everything bordering around learning, the policies, the schools, the environment, the teachers, the curriculum, the policy makers, and issues bordering around learning generally. If it's the first time you're joining us, thank you and welcome. And for those who are always listening to us, thank you and thank you for staying with us as well. On this program today, we are going to be discussing a very, how would I put this? The topic we're going to be discussing is close to everybody's heart. I mean, this place that I am now, if it's not secured, I don't think I'll be here. Wherever you are now, if you are not having any form of security, I don't think you'll be there. So are you a parent? Are you an educator? Are you a student? A school owner? This concerns you. Our topic today is studying without tears. What does this mean? The insecurity and the student. The challenges, the problems. Recently, we heard of a case where about 137 students, were taken from their school in Kaduna State. We're taken from their school in Kaduna State. Those are the persons that left the house, went to learn, and some other persons just came and they took them up. And we heard that a teacher that was taken with them, one of the teachers died in the custody of the kidnappers. So think about it. The other time somebody was telling me that it is so that there's a way it is now that even the parents are scared of who to go and pick their children from school. That gone are the days where you could just tell somebody, please go and pick up my child for me. So this is what we're going to be discussing today on the program Learn With Us. Don't forget, it is your program. There will be time for you to call in. Because the person that we have in the studio today, I'm so excited. In a very short while, I am going to be reading his bio. So we just go quickly on a break. When we come back, the program continues. Sit down and read your books. Today, sit down, listen very well. Now, as we always begin on this program, there's a time for the Academia Spotlight. On our Academia Spotlight today, we are joining our voice to say congratulations to the students of CKC, Christ the King College, Onitsha. They just emerged the winner of World Affairs Challenge. This World Affairs Challenge is organized annually by World Denver. And this year, they did not only win it for Nigeria, but they won it for the entire Africa. The first time a school in Africa is taking this prize in its 32nd year of being in existence. And this challenge is set up to empower students in high school to work in line with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And on this their project, they worked on a program that talks about environmental degradation, climate change, and substance abuse. That earned them the first prize. If you want to know more about it, you can go online. And the second one is on Usman Dalhatu. He's a student that just, was able to develop a mobile kiosk for food sellers. And what did he do? He powered each of these mobile kiosks with inverter so that even at night they can sell. And Nigeria is not doing amazing things.
Nigerians are doing well.
All right, that's the much we can take today. On this program, we'll be introducing ourselves. He's here.
All right.
Okay.
My name is Ben Adafanabri, Uncle Ben.
All right. And my name is Iswana Jane Avoidoya. And the next person I'm going to introduce is our amiable, wonderful, lovely guest. You see this person? Make I give you. I almost said make I give you. Oh, Uncle Ben, don't make me do this. Let me give you a brief about his bio. His name is Mr. Wilson Babangida Agboti, defense consultant and security expert with over 17 years of experience. So if you were born 17 years ago, this man is a sure man and has been in the business. And this is experience cut across security, ICT, and development. Mr. Wilson Babangida Agboti is an ambassador for youth and development, West African Youth Alliance, WIRE, WAYA. I like that, WIRE. He's the senior. Look at another cap. Another feather on the cap is wearing another feather.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know that there are feathers in women's gilly too, right? So it's not about just being feather on the cap. So now, is the senior special aide to His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Otumba Adejare Adegberu, the High Commissioner in Nigeria, International Human Rights Commission, Switzerland. This is heavy.
Thank you for having me.
Greet our people there.
Hello, everyone. Hello, listeners.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure to be here. Jennifer, thank you for having me. Radio Maria, I'm glad to be here.
All right. Welcome. So, next voice you're going to be hearing is my colleague. All right.
Jane. Wilson, you're welcome. It's wonderful having you here, and we're here to discuss all an important issue that affects not individual but us as a nation. And I hope that God will help you to do justice to this and the necessary precautions and steps to eradicate, if not eradicating, reducing it to the nearest minimum will be taken by those who are concerned. So I want to ask you, what does security of schools or students mean then and now? Comparing the old and current states of schools with regards to adequate security. So can you comment on that?
Yeah, once again, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to come and discuss such a sensitive topic, especially at this time of our existence as a nation and the prevailing insecurity that is going on in this country. I mean, such a program can never be enough, in curbing insecurity in the country. What security is to be in education or in the educational system then and now is completely two different things right now, as we see. Before now, we used to enjoy something relatively secured educational system. I would say that relatively secured in the sense that people can walk to schools. Now, I don't think people walk to school, regardless of the distance. Before now, you can have your child or your ward and he's off to school, regardless of his age. But right now, you can't even try that, and it's so bad that schools have become vulnerable, due to certain reasons that is going on in the country. But before now, we used to enjoy a secured system. We used to enjoy some level of security in our schools, but that is no longer obtainable now, and it's so bad that because education is a key factor in our economic development, So, if education is threatened, the nation is threatened. That's what that translates to. So, but now we are faced with several challenges. several issues posing security challenges to educational system, and some of these issues were not there before. Probably even if they were tackled in a certain way. Such issues are terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, insurgency, and all of that. They have become the order of the day now, and it's so sad. It's so sad. So yeah, it's not late for our leaders to look into this and see what are the possible solutions. And I believe it's part of what we're going to be discussing as we progress in this program.
Okay, I don't know. In those days, you used to hear of banditry, bomb blast, only read it over on news.
And in movies.
Movies like American movie.
Yeah.
Bodies are staring at
Become
us.
our reality,
They understand. So I want to find out. It seemed it was better then, like you just explained. How did we get here?
Okay. That is always the question. The last time I was on air in TV station, we were talking about how did we get to where we are now in terms of insecurity. They say no smoke without fire, isn't it? So, exactly. So, and I always say this as a conflict resolution expert. You have to look at what are the causes, why, what happened that we are where we are. You understand? Until you look at such issues, trust me, any solutions you bring are not going to be sustainable, are not going to make results or impact. So yes, what are the causes of the insecurities that we are facing right now? Where did we get it wrong? And I will tell you categorically, one of the reasons is the issue of poverty, the issue of unemployment. So these are some of the root causes that are made us start making us face such insecurity in the country. Another causes, like I said, those terrorism, banditry. But what make people go into terrorism? What makes people go into kidnapping? What makes people go into insurgency? You understand? It's not what every normal human being will want to try. Do you get?
Yeah.
You won't just wake up and say, today I want to just start bombing places,
Yeah.
So those things comes from,
There's the background.
there's a background to that. There's
Orientation.
a background to that, So poverty, poor governance, failed systems. Yes, to be honest, we have institutions that have failed, and some are still failing, in doing their mandate as government-owned institutions, when it comes to making Nigeria secure. You get what I'm trying to say? So these are some of the things that have made us to be where we are here. And political tension, political instability, ethnic and religious tension, to mention a few. They are just, these are root causes of insecurity, not just in the educational system, but cut across all sectors of the economy. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yes, it cuts across all sectors, but we are channeling our discussion towards education because this is the topic for today, But trust me, these causes are cut across everywhere, and it's affecting us badly. Cultism is also one of the reasons why we are where we are today, Before now, when I was in university, we used to see cultism. Anyway, the school I attended, it wasn't really rampant and common. Yeah, but then it was there. And trust me, till date, it's still there, And you see, it's so appalling, so unfortunate that you see a child, a student of secondary school already, practicing cultism at the secondary school level.
And I'm wondering,
I'm like, what's going
how
on
did
here?
you get there?
So it's no longer a tertiary institution thing, So it has gone down that way. And I mean, you see a 13, 14-year-old child, in a cult. Come on.
And I'm saying, at that level, do they even understand the meaning of what they are doing?
They do.
What they do?
They do.
So it's just that that doesn't understand
Yeah, I
that.
say they don't understand, but they do. Trust me.
Okay.
They do. So I don't know. Initially, it started with bombing public places.
Yes.
And then gradually it degenerated to bombing churches and then schools.
Yes.
But what we are seeing now is a trend of kidnapping in school, right? I want to find out from you, since you're an expert in this field. So what are the key factors that is responsible for the heightened state of insecurity in our schools today?
Okay, one of the factors is, like I said, poverty and poor governance.
Yeah.
Yeah, people feel aggrieved. People feel like they deserve better from the government, and they feel like the government is not giving them the basic necessities that every citizen should be able to have. So that creates that tension. That creates that tendency for them to
Mr. Wilson,
start kidnapping.
if I'm angry with you,
Yes.
what should I pour the anger on?
Someone else. Okay,
Yeah.
now this is the thing now. I
Yeah.
feel, let's say you are a government, you are the system.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
understand? And I feel bad with what you're doing, that you're not doing the right
And
thing.
you're
as a
oppressing
citizen.
your
and,
Yeah.
and I feel like I can get you, but I
Okay.
can get the people you are meant to protect also, just like me.
okay.
Okay, to just get your attention,
And they
distract
probably
you.
make money from it, and all of that.
Okay.
So and most of those kidnappers, they don't just go to random schools and start kidnapping. They go to schools that they perceive that the children of the elite are, or
Okay.
they can get a child that the parents will end up paying ransom. Do you understand? Or some of them, they profile these children. They profile them to know, yes, who their parents are, to do that. So it's like I can't fight the government, but I can do things to disrupt the governance.
Okay.
Do
To
you
get their
my-
attention.
To get their attention, not to get the money, and even to sort my own need. Because I'm feeling like I'm marginalized, or I'm feeling like I'm not treated well as a citizen in my country, and all stuff like that. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So
And they feel, sorry to cross you there, and they feel that as long as their demands are not being met, even the other persons will be putting pressure on the government,
On the government
to attend to them.
attend
Yeah,
to
so
that,
Oh my
because
God.
if your child is
Oh
out
my
there,
God.
will you rest?
Yeah, that's
You will
it.
rest. You'll
You
be
have
on
to call all you
everybody's
can
toes,
call.
everybody,
Because the first thing is the government.
The government. Right.
Whether it's a private school, it's a government
Government,
school,
yes,
the first
the
thing they will
system
say,
is
it
the
is you,
government.
it is you, it is you. All right.
Of course, the failure of the government.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're here. This is where we are now. And I don't know, I want to find out from you, what are the possible ways that this challenge can affect the learning process?
A lot. Just like in any other sector, insecurity affects so much in every activities of the nation. So the possible one of the ways it affects the learning process is that people now tend not to take their children to school. There's a decrease in the enrollment, and there's the psychological impact both on the children, the students, and even the parents. Do you understand? So that psychological impact can have a long life impact on their lives. You get what I'm trying to say? And then we also have the issue of loss of lives and property. Insecurity in schools have led to that. Some of these kids, when kidnapped, they never come back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
look at the Chibok girls.
Do you
Is that
understand?
how many years?
Some
Up
of
to a
them are
decade.
married, right? Some of them are married with children. So
Oh my
it's
Lord.
married to
it's
Boko Haram with
terrible.
children. I imagine what
That kind of union will be.
But this is not what they plan for themselves. This is
Yeah.
not what their parents planned for them. Even when they gave birth
Would
to
you
them.
want to go back to school if you're a victim of such? Would
Yeah,
really
you
want
can
to go back
imagine
to
a
school?
child they gave birth to them when this happened is about 10 years now.
10 years.
And you are telling the child that so thing happened, and the child is just imagining.
With that happening around the northeast, normally the core north, the enrollment of students is very poor. You
Yeah.
understand? Then this
is
insecurity
happening
coming
again.
So everybody now has a reason why their children shouldn't go to school, and the government is trying the best to see how they can create more awareness for people to get educated. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And now we are having insecurity being posed at our educational system, so that affects badly the number of people who want to go to school. And an educated nation is a developed nation. So if your educational system is crumbled,
weak,
I
of
mean,
course.
so what
You're nothing. You're just there. So I don't know. I feel that these guys are not channeling their grievances through a proper channel, owing to the fact that predominantly this is happening in the northeast, and that is where we have a whole lot of out of school children.
Yeah, already.
Right? So they are not channeling it well. Targeting the school is the wrong thing to do, right? you make some student not to even go back to school again. They feel that school is whatever they call it, but whatever it is.
And you know, sorry to pause you. The root cause too is still born out of the fact that majority of the persons that are involved in this are not educated.
You understand? So lack of
That
education
is
is
it.
very,
So you see, it's
Well, I
you
can
know,
say they are
it's a
actually
very good
educated,
no,
right?
no, but some of it's just the ones that are at the top level who are doing the command, issuing the command that are educated. But the ones who actually the executioners, the foot soldiers are not.
Yes.
So that's what we're talking. Because if the foot soldiers were well educated, I mean, there is something you can tell me now to do, and I'll look at you and say, Chief Wilson, but now wow,
Do you
you
know
know.
that poverty and lack of education are weapons?
Yes.
Okay, so that is actually what they rely more on.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're not educated, they can use
And
that
you're
as
hungry.
you're hungry.
Yeah.
There's a weapon.
Yeah, they just
Right,
weaponize
so-
education.
Yeah, so that's what they are doing. They are fully aware of what they are doing.
Mm.
So they don't want them to go to school so that they can be used. Imagine that you've not eaten for the past 2-3 days. Someone come and say,
And you're
"Oh,
not
I'm giving
fasting."
I'm giving you 50,000 naira. Won't you kill yourself for it?
Chicken
you. Well,
Look at chicken straight.
I don't digress
I'll
too
buy
much.
5.
But Mr. Wilson,
Yes,
Yeah.
you know my major challenge, which I still want you to re-echo, is the recent target. Like I said, it started from bombing
Yeah.
crowded areas down to bombing churches. Why? Why the school? Why is the school the main target now?
Okay, before now, that's now the difference between terrorism and kidnapping and
Okay.
insurgency. Yeah. Before now, we used to have people when they bomb, they want to terrorize a certain place.
Okay.
They want to terrorize a certain religion. You understand? They want to terrorize a certain community, not because they want to pick something from it, not because they want to get reward. But that is the deeper part of the terrorism.
Yes.
So, but it has shifted from just that. That was why terrorism was very rare. It wasn't really a common thing. You understand? So before someone will have that mindset to do that, it takes a lot. You get what I'm trying to say? So it has now shifted because of the inability of our governance rather before and now, and to where we are now. The tension heightened.
Okay.
Poverty, the lack of proper amenities, basic amenities, and all of that. Now people start getting access to arms and stuff that are used for this. So it's no longer terror. It's no longer me wanting to bomb certain places. It's now becoming like, okay, I can actually make money with these arms, this illegal stuff I'm in possession with. You understand?
And how did they get it from
Now,
politicians?
doing politics, and all of that, and then they never get it back from them. And then you are left with this. and you are not
During the time they're doing
what-
politics, they
Yes.
distribute this thing.
Hungry
To
and all of
press
that.
Yeah,
their
so
enemy or
afterwards they just
opponent.
feel that there's the money
Exactly.
is not there again. So now I can
I
make
have this weapon and I'm hungry. And the same persons I put in power are not looking back to say if I have light, if I have food, if
So
I have
man
roof
must
under me.
survive.
So man must survive. So now the next thing is I will identify nearby school and see how I can unleash my terror there to see how I can make money out of it. Do you understand? So that's the dynamics now. That is
Okay, that's
so-
why these children are mostly the target now. Schools.
Yes, not because they just want to bomb them or kill them. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
The motive behind it now, that is what our governance should be looking at. The root cause. What is the issue? What is causing these motives? Do you get?
Yeah.
And then until we tackle that, we're just going to keep having insecurity coming around us.
Right,
just
kidnapping and
So
children.
yes, until we're able to look at these root causes, okay, where have we failed as a state? Where have we failed as even parents? Because insecurity is everybody's business.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Very
So
true.
where have you failed as a community to keep ourselves secure? Where have you failed? Is it in policy making? Is it in enforcement? Is it in what's it called, infrastructure? All of these are all questions that we need, the stakeholders need to ask and then look at the root causes of this thing. And until it's tackled, our children in school will always be a threat.
A threat.
All right, so
Will always be a threat, I mean.
there are a whole lot to digest from what Mr. Wilson is saying, but I think we need to take a little break.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back,
Right.
your program continues. Don't teach me wrong, God. You're welcome back. The program is still Learn with us. And we are learning so much today on security and insecurity of schools. Why and how did we get here? First session have just gone past, but stick with us for this second session. Our expert, who has over 17 years of experience in security, ICT, and development and other areas, is here. Mr. Wilson Agboti Babangida. So he's been telling us a whole lot concerning this. And you know, this is a time where we open the phone line for you to interact with us, even as the second segment continues. Yeah, 081 084 475 18. 081 084 47518. What are those questions that are burning in your chest? Let it out. Ask the expert. He's here. So, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, please.
How can we tell that there is a security compromise in a school? What are the key indicators?
Okay.
Sorry, I may have to pause. We'll have a call. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Suleiman Aliyu.
Okay.
I'm calling from Tafa.
Tafa. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you see, like what prompted me to make this call now, when the people wanted to start this conversation or lecture or direction, I thought that maybe it will just be, you didn't pinpoint the main things, the real things, and how this thing started. You know that before now, there is nothing like Boko Haram in Nigeria. And when there is nothing like Boko Haram, there is nothing like bombing, there is nothing like kidnapping, there is nothing like all these killings and community attack and all the rest of them. And I thought, if you want to say something like this, then let's start from the beginning. When did that this thing start? Before the Boko Haram started, and the Boko Haram from another side, they don't like Western education. They say that Western education is a taboo.
Yeah, I think he gave a little background to that. Hello, we can hear you. He gave a little background to how it's just a summary though. We didn't really go into the Boko Haram just for time because we have the things we want to get out of it.
You say that it's because of hunger, the politicians give guns and
No, that was in the course of the discussion. Yeah.
But this is just an agenda. This thing that's happening now is an agenda. You understand me?
Yeah.
Being protected by some people. It's not something that happened by accident or by mistake. It's something that is
all right. This is
and they are doing it.
okay.
You understand me? Look at like during the time of Buhari as a president, the first time he came, he gave amnesty to all the Boko Haram captives. If you want to know, and some of them, he said that some of them are repented ones. The repented ones. And he gave them amnesty and said that they should join. Some of them said even join the soldiers.
Yeah.
So with all these things, you know, if you want to discuss something like this, you don't do it as you're supposed to. You understand? You're not sitting around the bush saying that the politicians do that.
We did start from politicians. Okay, all right. Maybe you listen more. Hello. Maybe you listen more because it's still going to touch a whole lot of areas. You know, we're just starting, yeah? Okay. All right. Thank you. Let him speak to that.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kola. We appreciate your input. And in regard to what you say, the program is actually we are discussing security and insecurity around schools, around education. Yeah. So we are not focusing our discourse on just Boko Haram, which is one of the insurgencies that is going on in Nigeria. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So we are not narrowing our discussion to start talking about the evolution of Boko Haram and then where it was and where it is now and all that. That is not the topic for the day. But Boko Haram, like you rightfully say, is an insurgent, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of, and I mentioned part of the challenges we are having in our education system is terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and insurgency.
Yeah.
Do you understand where Boko Haram fall in under? Do you understand? So maybe some other time they will have a program that they are going to look at that elaborately. You understand?
This is as it concerns
schools,
not the general public. Our
Mm.
target is how it concerns school. How we can make sure that students will study without tears. How they can go to school and be comfortable. Yeah, how they shouldn't be target and why they shouldn't even be target. Yeah, so we're talking about the key indicators. What how can one tell that the security of a particular school is compromised?
Okay, to arrive at that, I'll first of all talk about certain things that the school system are not doing and which they should be doing right, and government should hold schools, both private and public, responsible for this. Most organizations don't take security as a critical agenda in their operations. Some schools I know for a fact don't even have a security unit, like a proper security unit that is managed by a security expert who can do intelligent gathering and analysis. Do you understand? Parents should be asking for this. They should be asking to see the security manager of that school during PTA, so he can give them a blueprint of what the school security measures are.
Okay, so these are the causes that can lead to.
Until you have such mechanism, you won't be able to be effective in identifying gray area or when you are compromised or not. There should be security expert. There should be a unit very serious. Do you understand? In any organization, be it school, be it whatever sector. Do you understand? Security agenda, the unit is critical, and school should have it. Parents should demand for it.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, this is me calling from you.
Okay, let's hear your input.
I was enjoying your program. I was just on my radio now. I was just listening to the security issue. You know, security issue. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
The security issue is everybody business.
Yes.
Don't say that maybe it's a particular place. You know, when you are living in a community, or you are living in a, let me just say maybe like estate or maybe like a community, you should know about the person that maybe you are in like a compound. You should know a little bit about the person that maybe you are living with. If you can't know a little bit about the person, you are expecting maybe something maybe God should do. You are your own. Because that's why we see that maybe people unnecessarily just enter our midst that maybe we don't know. Even though some landlord that can say it anywhere, that some landlord that didn't even know people that maybe they are living in their houses and they are sleeping, their tenants, they can't know where they are working, all those kind of things, Those things matter a lot. That's why that people we have Boko Haram everywhere. You can just see a community, all these killers just enter there. All those, in this security, everybody be there before God is going to help you, sir. Let us find something maybe to do all those things, and let us warn all our children that maybe to know people that maybe they are following up and down. When you Bible say train up your children the way of the Lord. When you grow, you can't depart from that. Thank you so much. You are doing very great job.
All right, thank you so much for your input. So we'll continue. We are talking about let them have, security units too.
Exactly.
I don't know. I wish our dear caller, our listener, will be more focused and channel their discussion
to the schools,
because that is actually an educational program.
It's an educational program.
So our
when you
focus
make
is
your
schools.
input,
So when you are making your input, just profile solution. How do we handle this thing within the school system?
So like we're talking about, I was trying to arrive on how do you identify if the security system is compromised or not. So let's say now you have the system I talked about. Let's say a school has it now. It's mounted by a security manager, an experienced or a certified security manager who knows what he or she is doing. So there is what we call security analysis, where he will always analyze the school on a daily. Do you get? On a daily, there's a report that will be sent to management. So if you have a system that looks around, analyze the situation of things around the school and what is the trending, what is happening, what is the area under any sort of attack, potential attack. These are daily updates that security expert will do. That is a whole lot of work to do, and that person reports to the management on a daily. So the management will be able to, the system will be able to detect if there is a compromise at any time. But until you have a system that does that, you won't be able, who will be the expert that will detect that? You get what I'm trying to say?
Very true.
Yeah,
So following up with that, who are those we should be holding responsible, the key persons to be held responsible for the security of our children in school?
Okay, stakeholders, that's what I would say, and I will tell you who are the stakeholders. The system, that's the government itself, is the number one stakeholder. The owners of the school are the stakeholders. The parents are the stakeholders, and even the students are the stakeholders. Why I say the students? You see instance where students leave school to enter town, maybe in university, they leave, they abandon school and they go doing their things. Becoming vulnerable, and all of that. You had instance where you see a student die in a hotel, a student was kidnapped in the street. What is that student doing there? You understand? So, like the caller says, security is everybody's business.
It's everybody's business.
Then the framework, the government framework that regulates schools, certain things. What are the frameworks saying about security of students in school? We have porous schools everywhere. We have schools that doesn't even have perimeter fencing. You can stroll in and stroll out. Go to the north and you see. I was born and brought up in the north, so I understand how porous some of these schools are. And that is why you can see terrorists walking and take that number and go, and nobody is seeing them. Nobody is asking. Like, how you'll be imagining how come. You understand? Over that kind of numbers were adopted in schools and all of that.
So 137, and I'm like, how?
So the perimeter fencing, the security measures, and all of those things needs to be in place. The government needs to have a proper regulations that set standards when it comes to security in schools. If you don't meet to these standards, you're not going to run any school. You see private schools where school is located in a place that is not even supposed to have a
that
school
you can
there.
just walk out and
see market. And you'll be like, is this a school?
You just think it's a business area.
You pass through the market to the school.
Do you understand? So these are where children go to learn, and they are vulnerable, and our systems are supposed to check them are not doing anything about it. That's why I mentioned failed systems, So we need to revive this until we have them on their toes, to put in laws and policies that safeguard the schools. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Then internally, the school has to also have a security system. Parents should demand for this at all times. Before you enroll your child or your ward into a school, ask what is the security measures of this school. Do you understand? They should be able to avail you that, so that you know whether you should enroll your child here or not, to avoid stories that touches.
So now, is ransom the solution? That's one. And I would ask again, in all of this, what is the short-term and the long-term solution to solving these insecurity problems in our schools?
Okay.
So you start for ransom.
Ransom.
Yeah.
Well, ransom is not the solution, but trust me, nobody will want to have his family member under adoption, and you're banking on a system to help you secure them back, and the system, you don't have confidence in the system. You don't have confidence in the security system to rescue these people. You left no choice if you have the money to rescue them. Do you understand? But it's not the way out. But then again, everybody wants to secure their persons that are being adopted. You understand what I'm trying to say? So the solution to that is that we should work on our security apparatus. We should work on our security architecture to be able to make everything secure. If there's a secure system, there won't be adoption and kidnapping.
Okay, and the personnel, the security personnel that we have in the country, do you think they are, in number is okay, and in terms of, qualification, intelligence, they are able to match up with what we are saying now?
No, I don't think so. Most time when I consult for defense, I tell them this is the solution to do things. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Right now, as it is with the population of Nigeria, the population that we have in this
200
country,
million plus, if not more.
as it is, with the number of security personnel we have cut across all the agencies, security agencies, it's like one security man to 80 persons.
80.
Yes, that is what
I'm looking at it like 80 of us now. So only one person.
That is the sad thing. I'm telling you. So
I think you are just being on the conservative part. If not this, it should be one.
It should
to
be
either
more
one.
than
What
to
are
it.
So how do you think you can achieve?
1,000.
so it's not enough, and you cannot have enough of security measures. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There are institutions, there are countries that you have almost half of the population are in the security system.
Israel, uncle.
Yeah, Israel.
So they are not mad. They are not crazy when they do these things. They know that security is very important. You get what I'm trying to say? So until we have to boost that number we have to get more intelligent policing system. We have to get more people retrained and trained and added in the system that we have. Then if we have to put in other security measures, international organizations are out there willing to help the country, willing to support us and collaborate with us. I mean, this is what our leaders should be looking for, because security is.
But is it that they are not aware? You will need to speak with them more, because that's what we'll hear.
We've been talking about this.
Even they are aware, but Mr. Wilson,
Yes,
I feel that if you have a domestic problem, it should be handled at home.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, but do we have...
Are you not aware that this Boko Haram, most of the elite, they're not aware of they are hiding. They know where they're hiding.
Okay, they are aware.
Yeah, so...
Madam, if you know where, maybe you may just reconsider, so that at least we'll live as one big family in this country. It's a very beautiful country.
We don't have any other country.
Yeah.
The sad truth about it is that Nigeria is one of the places you see politics is being played with people's lives and with impunity. People don't look at it. For instance, you contest and you lose election. Instead of you to go back to the drawing board, have the spirit of sportsmanship, embrace the new leader, and see how the country can move forward. No, they won't do that. They go back and you begin to orchestrate measures that will frustrate the governance, that will frustrate the government of the day, simply because you lost out. And then you're not looking at what this frustration you're bringing, this stuff you are designing, how they are affecting and killing people. But because of your selfish interest, and you just choose yourself over the nation, and you begin to champion and finance, acts of kidnapping, banditry, and all of that, that, because it comes from somewhere. It comes from somewhere. Someone is behind it. Every action that
I truly understand the passion of the first caller, right? You wanted to discuss holistically, but we can't really go that far.
So this is the sad truth. So we're going to continue to call on our leaders to look at you can't, even as a politician, how do you operate if you don't have a secured environment? If your environment is not secure, how do you become a governor? A governor. If your environment is not secure, how do you become a councillor? If your environment is not secure, how do you become a chairman? Exactly. Do you understand? Who are you going to lead?
Yeah. So now, how can the stakeholders now all collaborate to ensure that this thing we're talking about does not even go beyond today? That as we speak, if children need to go to school, they go to school without looking over their shoulder, or without recalling that, or just thinking that something might happen before the close of school. The stakeholders, whether it's the government, who are the policymakers, the security personnel, people like you, the expert, the school owners, the educators, the parents.
And even the students.
And even the students. That you all mentioned, that including the students is a stakeholder. So, and the society at large. How can they synergize to ensure that this is, this is tackled, that you don't need to see a gun before you know somebody is carrying a gun. Just looking at the person alone, you can tell that this person is a threat.
Security.
And you just, exactly. Yeah, so how can
Okay, basically you're asking for what is the solution?
Yeah,
Solution.
What is the way forward? You know,
Way
when all
forward.
these stakeholders come together,
Mhm.
what should they be discussing? What
Yes.
are the measures that needs to be put in place?
Yeah.
That is basically what I understood by what you're trying to say.
Mhm.
And one of the solutions is to improve security framework. Like I've always said, this framework has to do, like I made this example, the government has to look at a framework that will be passed to all schools,
Okay.
private and public. This is government laws that says if you have to run a school, this and this and this and this
Must be put in place.
I know there's a government body that regulate or inspect schools, but I don't know how effective they are. You get what I'm trying to say?
And there?
There should be a body that you have to go apply before you even become an institution.
Okay,
So
it's setting it
also,
up before you stand up.
Quality assurance.
Quality
is there.
assurance.
Exactly. So it's part of their
Okay,
mandate
well,
to,
have a
because
call.
if they okay, we have a call, yeah.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, this is me, you're calling back.
All right,
Okay,
sir.
And I hear the last time, I don't know maybe it's false or true, that maybe the government have sanctioned all this civil defense call to all this early primary school and secondary school, maybe to take here. That's the major thing that maybe we need now. Even though you're a private school and the schools you have security maybe for the children and all those kind of things. If maybe we secure ourselves, God can secure us too. You can secure yourself in a little way that maybe you cannot put everything in the hand of government, that maybe you are waiting for government, maybe to somebody that maybe is living on their own. You know, our security, they have a wife, they have a husband, they have this thing, they have other things in them too are doing now. You are calling somebody that maybe you just close from the work and the job and rescue you. We thank all the security men who are working, thank you. God to help you.
Thank you very much, man.
Contribution.
Thank you. Okay, see what we're
I
saying.
think he has suggested a solution that government should send
The framework.
civil defense
should also
to all
work for
schools,
you know. Yeah.
That's a good
Okay.
one there.
So that's part of the improved security framework actually.
Okay.
Yes, but that's part of the point I was trying to say. Also improve security infrastructure, across the country,
Yeah.
So when you have a good infrastructure, call and respond is easy.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Nearby school, there should be, what is nearby security outlet to my school?
Okay.
And there should be a linkage between that.
It should be less than a kilometer.
You understand? Exactly. So these are infrastructure I'm talking about now here. So if there is a break, if there is a security compromise, you call immediately before the children are moved out of that area. The security agencies are there. So these are all intelligent improve. Also enhance law enforcement.
Okay.
How do we enhance our law enforcement? We need to increase their welfare. We need to increase the number. We need to reorient them. We need to, give them advocacy. We need to train them. They should be also understand community policing because that is the area. The children are adopted in a community. The school exists in a community. So you need to improve, enhance our law enforcement, and also empowerment. Empower our youth. Empower the citizens. So that it will reduce crime. It will reduce the tendency for people to go into kidnapping and insurgency. If I have a legitimate work doing and I'm earning quite comfortably to be able to cater for myself in terms of basic amenities, I won't have reason to go into insecurity, and all of that. Conflict resolution and peace building, very important.
Very,
Also,
very important.
the parents and the community, the schools, they need to find a way to have a conflict resolution mechanism that will safeguard our schools. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Babangida. I will say of a truth, you're truly an expert in this field, because most of these things you are saying, Agwedoya is just nodding, trying to, get everything. So we would like to say thank you for coming on the show to do justice to the topic. We're trusting that when next we call on you to have an extensive discussion, trusting that these persons that are concerned, including me, we have heard today, we are going to put to work the things, some of the solutions that you have profiled. So when next we'll call you, we trust that you're going to come.
I'm available for Boko Haram discussion.
Those are the first caller.
All right. Thank you. So, dear listener, this is the very last part of the show where we do vocation and fun corner.
So, Jane, what do you understand by the saying to be hoodwinked?
Hoodwinked.
Yeah.
Okay, it means somebody in the neighborhood, that is winking at people.
You started again.
Number one, it means that somebody that is putting on a hood. Winking at
please
passerby.
don't listen to
wink, hood. He's putting on a hood and winking
don't
at
listen to Jen.
Okay, oh yeah, what is the meaning now?
So hoodwink means to trick or deceive or fool someone.
Okay.
That's just the meaning.
Okay, why is it not like somebody wearing hood and winking, doing the eye? All right. So I'm going to ask you, what do you understand by photobiology? Oh yeah, cool.
Someone who studied biology in Scottish now.
Please, don't. It's the study of darkness as against, photobiology.
Seriously?
Yes, photobiology. You see now?
Oh.
Thank you, amazing listener. This is the much you can take on the program today. This is your darling program. 4 to 5 every Saturday. And for those who are supporting Radio Maria, thank you for always doing that. And for those who are yet to support, you can call and know how to support. For all those who called in, all your points are valid. For those who tried to call, they couldn't call, listen more next time. And this is where we draw the curtain and we sign out and we're saying
bye-bye for now.
Bye.